Did you ever think what it would be like traveling along in an open car without a windshield? Boy, you wouldn't go very far before you got all splattered with mud. And you'd have to keep your eyes closed so as not to be blinded by the dust. Well, when you're traveling along in life, Rangers, common sense acts as a pretty important windshield. It lets you see where you're going.
I am the greatest.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you and your time. Welcome to In the Mass Media Group. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a chance, please tweet this out, Twitter it out, or X it out, whatever the new acronym is that they have today. So if you can do that, would greatly appreciate it. So today's topic is Senate Standing Committee on Governmental Organization. What is it, and what does it have to do with the CAFFA office, the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, and why you should know? But before that, let's actually get into some housekeeping before we start. Sundays, right here on ETM Media Group, Mass Media Group. Please join us right here, Sundays at 10 a.m., Road to Reparations Community Show. You have a chance, please support this platform. We are your number one source for reparations and news. You can go and support us on that Amazon affiliate link. Right there, hit that QR code and we'll take you straight to the Amazon store wherever you make your purchases. It will go and support this ETM Media Group. So thank you very much for that. 41-21-1, 41 Assembly, 21 senators, and 1 governor to make California reparations a reality. reparationsnowdoc.com. That's reparationsnowdoc.com. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Very grassroots, but very informative. So once again, please check that out. It's also on Tubi, so you can check it out on Tubi for free. But if you want some behind the scenes and all access, please go to reparationsnowdoc.com. We will be reading the 1866 Reconstruction Treaties between the United States and Oklahoma tribes. Probably, maybe, is next week? I don't know, maybe next Sunday. I think we plan to do that, and we might actually have a guest reader and commenter as well for this program regarding the 1866 Reconstruction Treaties regarding the freedmen. So be on the lookout for that. And when you have a chance, please check out cjec-official.org. Please check out cjec-official.org. CJEC is doing a great job, which is the Coalition for Reparations and Reparative Justice for Black Americans. Also, better yet known as Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, right here in California. So please support this organization And Thursdays at 7 p.m., that's Thursdays at 7 p.m. at CJEC-official, the YouTube channel, we have live readings. So please check that out. That's Thursdays at 7 p.m. All right. So we are here to talk about what is it? And what is it that we're going to be reviewing today? That is the Senate Standing Committee on Governmental Organization. All right. Before we do that, if you haven't had a chance, please check out Senator Stephen Bradford. We had a great discussion with him on, it was April 16th. So he's definitely moving these reparations bills forward. And today we're actually going to be talking about SB 1403, or yes, SB 1403. Man, there's so many bills going through right now through this reparation space. Right now, I think the high priority ones right now is this Freedom Affairs Agency and also this SB 1331, the Fund for Reparations and Reparative Justice. So we're going to be going over those. Fam, if you can please let me know if you can hear me. I would greatly appreciate that. And thanks, as always, Miss Darlene, for coming through. And Ms. Raphael, as always, appreciate the sheroes in this movement. All right. Great. All right. Speaking of Ms. Raphael, boom. We had a wonderful discussion with Ms. Raphael H. Plunkett in the building, a shero in this movement. Chicago plus California plus colorism plus racism plus reparations. It was a great discussion. I really appreciate Raphael. I mean, what can we say, right? She's Raphael. So please, when you have a chance, go check out that discussion and interview that we had. It was phenomenal, as usual. Phenomenal. She's doing great work. Shout out to Raphael. All right. Woohoo! Wait, hold on a second. I got to get the clapper. Where's the clapper? Okay, I know we got the clapper somewhere. Oh, here we go. Claps and fire. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We're up to 1,600 subscribers, 1,600. So thank you very much for keeping informed. You could be doing a lot of other stuff, but we really appreciate you for keeping informed, not only on these reparations, but news in general, and just being aware. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. All right. What is next? So I guess let's actually start getting into the topic here. So once again, for those that did or have just joined, we are talking about the Senate Standing Committee on Governmental Organization. All right. So when you have a chance, you can go to sgov.senate.ca.gov. As a matter of fact, family, I'm going to put this link in the chat. So when you have a chance, you can actually go and look it up yourself. I don't know why the music seems a little low. I'm just going to turn it up just a tad bit. I don't want to overpower my voice or anything. But let me get this link. I appreciate your patience. I want to, let's see, get this link for everybody. Go to committees. Let's see. Governmental. All right. I'm putting this in the chat right now. All right. Boom. Wonderful. All right, so that is the Senate Governmental Organization Committee website. When you have a chance, after we get done with this live broadcast, you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. But in the interim, let's go ahead and see who's on this committee, shall we? Senate Standing Committee on Governmental Organization. Senator Bill Dodd is the chair. He's a Democrat. We have Senator Scott Wilk, who's the vice chair. He's a Republican. We have Senator Marie Alvarado Gill. She's a Democrat. We have Senator Bob Archuleta, Democrat. Angelique Ashby, who's a Democrat. Stephen Bradford, who's a Democrat. Stephen Glazer, Democrat. Brian W. Jones, Republican. Janet Nguyen, Republican. Rosalisi Ochoa Bo, Republican. Steve Padilla, Democrat. Anthony Portantino, Democrat. Richard D. Roth, who's a Democrat. Susan Rubio, who's a Democrat. Kelly Sayarto, who is a Republican. Lola Smallwood Cuevas, who's the Democrat. Stephen Bradford and Senator Stephen Bradford and Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas, they are part of the Black Caucus, the California Black Caucus, legislative Black Caucus here in California. All right, so let's go to the next slide. All right, Governmental Organization Committee, California State Senate. According to Ballotpedia, here is some of the items that are involved with the Governmental Organization Committee. As a standing committee, the Governmental Organization Committee is also governed by the following rules. Let me see. Okay. Yep. To appoint a secretary or hire clerical, technical, or legal assistance as necessary. Wait a minute. 1 second. I'm sorry. Just please forgive me for a second. I thought I had. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, appreciate your patience on this. You know what? I'm just gonna go straight to the source because I thought I had all my slides already. See, this is live content. Lots been going on, family. Lots been going on, but we'll just go straight to the source. Why don't we? And get this done. Let's see, California State Governor chart. Okay. All right, California. Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and share my screen. And so we're just gonna go to it that way because family, I'll tell you, I was just doing way too much. Got a lot going on. And so we'll just go straight to the source, why don't we? So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I'm gonna take this down and move this. All right, family. I'm gonna try to blow the screen up so everybody sees it a little bit better. All right. These ads, ugh. All right. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna put in the comments. Can y'all see the screen. Pretty sure you can. All right, looks like the screen is up and running, so we should be good to go. All right, let's do this. All right, the Governmental Organization Committee, California State Senate. This is according to ballotpedia.org. The Governmental Organization Committee is a standing committee of the California State Senate. Per the Senate rules, committees of the California State Senate are assigned by the President pro tempore. The President pro tempore has the power to appoint the chair and vice chair of the committee. The President pro tempore is considered an ex officio member of all committees of which he or she is not a regular member, but does not have voting rights and is not counted for purposes of determining a quorum. All right. Function. The duty of the Governmental Organization Committee, comprising 14 members. In this case, it's actually 16, but whenever this was written, it was probably then 14 members, is to investigate and study bills relating to horse racing, public gaming, alcoholic beverages, the management of public safety emergencies, and disaster response. State government organization, which I believe the California CAFFA office, the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, will be falling underneath the state government organization, and the use of state-controlled lands and buildings, state contracting, and interstate compacts. As a standing committee of the California State Senate, the Governmental Organization Committee has the following powers: to appoint a secretary or hire clerical, technical, or legal assistance as necessary. The committee may summon or subpoena with prior approval from the Committee on Rules, witnesses, and material documents as necessary in its investigation of a bill or law. Subpoenas approved by the Committee on Rules shall be served by the California State Senate Sergeant at Arms or a designee selected by the Sergeant at Arms. All departments, agencies, and subdivisions of the state of California, as well as the Legislative Council and individuals, regardless of his or her connection to the state government, are required to produce any information, records, and documents requested by the committee as necessary. All standing committees are allowed to meet at the state capitol as necessary to perform their duties and may spend such money as is made available by the Senate for that purpose. Unless the money has been made available prior, a committee may not incur debt. As a standing committee, the Governmental Organization Committee is also governed by the following rules. The officers of each committee shall consist of a chair, vice chair, and secretary. The chair shall preside at all meetings when present, unless he or she is the sole or lead author of a bill under consideration. If the chair is unable to preside over a meeting, the duty shall fall to the vice chair. Should both members be absent, a member designated by the chair shall preside over the meeting. The secretary of the committee is required to keep an accurate record of the meetings and actions as taken by the committee. Bills and other measures approved by the committee shall be reported as soon as possible to the Senate. The committee is required to meet on a day and hour as designated by the Committee on Rules. Special meetings may be called at the discretion of the chair, following approved by the Committee on Rules, by providing reasonable notification of all members of the time, location, and subject of the meeting. Matters may not be considered in a special meeting unless prior notice is given in the daily file. Special meetings should be scheduled so as to allow all members to attend without scheduling conflicts. The majority of the membership of a committee constitutes a quorum. A majority vote shall be required to table a bill, remove it from the table, or reconsider a vote on a bill. So I believe, once again, if there's 16, we'll need to go back to the overlay to confirm, but I believe there's 16 members. So what's that, 9 for a majority? Committee members may not take action on a bill outside of a scheduled committee meeting. The chair of the committee shall be responsible for setting hearings of bills and arranging the the calendar for committee hearings. A bill hearing may not take place unless the bill's author has been notified. Unless written authorization is provided by the bill's author, a bill may not be considered without presence of the bill's author. All meetings shall be open and public aside from any purposes authorized by Section 9029 of the Government Code, in which case a committee or subcommittee by majority vote may meet in executive session. The chair shall be responsible for keeping decorum and directing the order of presentation of the arguments for and against matters for consideration by the committee. A bill voted out of a committee or defeated shall only be reconsidered if a motion to reconsider a bill is approved by a majority vote of the committee, or if the procedures for reconsideration conform to Joint Rule 62, Subdivision A. Any bill laid on the table and then removed from the table at a later meeting may not be reheard until a subsequent meeting is held, after being calendared in the daily file and after notice is given. If proposed amendments are adopted to a bill in committee, the bill may be voted on at the meeting or may be taken out to print. Chair finds amendments submitted to the author to be major or substantial. The documents must be submitted to the committee at least 2 legislative days prior to the scheduled hearing. Prior to consideration by a standing committee, all bills must be referred by the Committee on Rules. The chair of the committee has the power, with permission from the Committee on Rules, to appoint subcommittees. As a standing committee, the Governmental Organization Committee must adhere to the additional rules as follows. Committees may adopt additional rules as long as they do not come into conflict with previous rules. A majority vote from a standing committee is required to report a bill, constitutional amendment, concurrent resolution, or joint resolution out of the committee. In order to report a Senate resolution out of a committee, a majority vote from a standing committee is required. Just as any member would, a standing committee may introduce a bill concerning any subject within the scope of that committee's consideration. A committee bill shall include the signatures of each member of the committee. A committee vote shall be by roll call vote if the members are voting on the disposition of bills, constitutional amendments, concurrent resolutions, and joint resolutions by committee. As stated earlier, it does look like Ballotpedia also has the same members. Let's see, except, is that the chair? Scott Wilk. No, I think this is not correct, because they have this as Al Marachutsi, which I don't think Al Marachutsi is currently the chair of the Governmental Organization Committee. So anyway, maybe Ballotpedia needs to update that. So basically that's I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Okay, everybody sees it clear. Wonderful. All right, so let's go back to, let's see, this slide here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this screen here. Let's go back. Okay. So once again, we have this 16-member body here. And actually, Bill Dodd is the chair of this. So I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because I think it's very, very important that even before this bill, especially what's going to come up tomorrow, SB 1403, that we need to make sure that we watch every one of these reparations bill. We watch it and we go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Tomorrow is historic. I don't think people realize how important tomorrow is. Even before it gets to the floor or the Senate, it has to pass this governmental organization body. And so, tomorrow hopefully we'll have everybody in session to create a quorum. And for those who don't know what a quorum is, basically you need a certain number of people at that particular hearing to continue with the process with the hearing, in particular to vote on the bills that are supposed to be talked about. So hopefully there is a quorum so they can vote on it. But these are the individuals that are going to be looking at SB 1403 tomorrow. So if these individuals are in your district, please reach out to them as these reparations bills go through, right? Once again, we have Senator Bill Dodd, who's the chair, Senator Scott Wilk, who's the vice chair, Marie Alvarado, Bob Archuleta, Angelique Ashby, Stephen Bradford, Stephen M. Glaser, Brian W. Jones, Janet Nguyen, Rosalisi, that's an interesting name, Rosalisi Ochoa, Steve Padilla, Anthony J. Portantino, Richard D. Roth, Susan Rubio, Kelly Ciarto, and Lola Smallwood Cuevas. All right. So family, you know what? That's pretty much about it. I don't know if anybody else, yes, who's going to be in the building. Okay, cool. So Darlene will be there representing, definitely. And as always, this is historic. Yes, thank you, Raphael. This is definitely historic. I'm in Senator Dodge District. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow, you know, is going to be one of those historic moments and historic efforts. So, yes, please contact your district representatives because this bill has to go through, right, to establish the Freedmen's Agency. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please retweet this. We got to get this going by any means necessary. Get this information out there. All right, so tomorrow, right here on Emin the Mass Media Group, we are planning on live streaming this. And yeah, so we're planning on live streaming. But if you happen to be in Sacramento or near Northern California, a few hours away from Sacramento, the Bay Area, or in super Northern California, like Weed or Redding or wherever, if you're listening to it and you have a chance to come down, this is going to be held at this address at 1021 O Street. That's room 1200. That's 1021 0 Street, room 1200. So that starts once again at 9 a.m. That link that I put in the chat should have the agenda that's going on for tomorrow. And you know, as a matter of fact, let's check out the agenda before we leave out of here, because we're going to wrap up pretty soon, family. So once again, thank you for coming. Let's see, I think I put it in the comments. No, yeah, I did. Let's see here, where are we at? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, it's always fun streaming live as we go. And all right, so here, let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen so we can see the agenda for tomorrow. All right, let's this. I usually have Kim here, who helps out with the slides and navigating through the broadcast too. So trying to do all this at once. Shout out to Kim Mims. Appreciate her. All right, so let's see here. Let me take this and remove this down. All right, so hopefully everyone could see the screen. So here's going to be the agenda for tomorrow. It's going to be quite a few bills that they're going to be reviewing. I'm going to blow it up just a tad bit because I don't know if y'all can see that. It might be quite small. I think that might be a little bit better. Okay, cool. All right, so tomorrow, here's the agenda. All right. Unfortunately, there will be no teleconference in terms of like calling. So if you want to do eyewitness testimony, you're going to have to be there in person. All right. So here are the measures that are going to be heard. I'm not going to go through all of these measures, but it looks like Senator Bradford does have two measures that he's going to be presenting to the committee tomorrow. One of them is SB 1371, which deals with alcoholic beverage control and proof of age, and SB number 1403, Bradford, California American Freedmen Affairs Agency. So it's pretty far down on the list. So, we're just going to have to be patient. Sometimes they move things up or back depending on where they're at. But in this particular case, it looks like it is one of the last bills to be heard tomorrow. So this is very important, very historic. And I just wanted to show that to everyone. Alrighty, so let's actually go back to this screen and I'm gonna stop sharing that. So yeah, this is about a half an hour into the show, and I think I'm gonna close out right now. But yeah, please come through. Please show your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. As always, please share this out. And once again, I can't thank everybody enough, and we can't thank everybody enough. I mean, 1,600 subscribers. I know some people may have 1 million views, 1 million subscribers, or whatever. But for us, this is very, very phenomenal for us, and we appreciate every single one of these subscribers. We appreciate every one of you. So thank you very much for this. This is a big, big, big feat for us. Big feat for us. So on that note, everybody have a wonderful day today. Hopefully you got to know a little bit about this governmental organization, what they do. I know we could have probably went into it a little bit more in depth of who and what these individuals are, but these bills are, man, they are coming through furious. I mean, as a matter of fact, there's actually some more bills that are coming up, I believe on Wednesday, maybe. And then next week, we got some more bills coming up. So we're trying to stay on it as much as we possibly can, family, just to keep everybody informed. So anyway, on that note, everyone have a great evening. Please take care of you and your family. And on that note, as always, peace and reparations.
Did you ever think what it would be like traveling along in an open car without a windshield? Boy, you wouldn't go very far before you got all splattered with mud. And you'd have to keep your eyes closed so as not to be blinded by the dust. Well, when you're traveling along in life, Rangers, common sense acts as a pretty important windshield. It lets you see where you're going.
I am the greatest.